Give me just a sec, folks. Okay, 5 minutes late, as is tradition. Oh, that's what I had to do. Hang on, let me change my Discord name really quickly. That's probably a wise thing to do. Oh wow, I can't change it. Okay, well, I guess you're stuck with that. Welcome everybody. Hopefully you are here for the S50 Honors. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me. I don't know who is using the game day chat, who's using the stream chat. I don't know where people really chat nowadays, if I'm being honest with you guys. But let me know if you can hear me. Turn up my audio. Okay. I don't want it to be too loud. I'm using my phone microphone here. So you're just going to have to deal with all the extra sounds, all of the ASMR of me sliding my phone across my table. It doesn't matter if you want to fix my name. Quite frankly, it's funnier this way. But, you know, whatever. Let's see. I'll take Good Goose. Looking at the stream currently, we got 21 folks. I don't know how much higher it's gonna get. I feel like that's probably about the amount of people we will have tonight. So we will... I think I'm in the right one. I don't want studio mode. I just want to be in my regular thing here. Okay. I don't know why. There it is. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. I've got all of my info up here for all of our wonderful honorees and all-pro members and our Hall of Fame inductees this year. So let's get started, and we will start with the DSFL. All right. So in the DSFL, we start with our all-pro team. We have on the first team offense, and we only have a first team offense here. Apologies for the extra click. We only have a first team offense here. We've got Dexter Morgan from the London Royals at quarterback. James is running Wilder at running back with Dalinar Summers. I'm going to mispronounce every single name here. You're just going to deal with it. You thought you were done with that when Kotasa was done. You were not. We've got Ignacio de la Serna at fullback. Whoa, a fullback. That's wild. Joe Cool at wide receiver, Sweet Sweet Ganja Smoke at wide receiver, and Travis Novak at wide receiver. We've got Feka Ohikau, gonna pretend that that's how that's pronounced, at tight end, as well as Big Strong Red Panda. Not a very big, strong looking Red Panda, but strength is hidden in Red Pandas. On the offensive line, we have one interior offensive lineman. Oh boy. Okuyasu Nijimura at interior offensive line. We've got Mike Ross and a literal Honda Civic playing tackle. So that's our first team all-pro offense for the DSFL and S50. On the defense, we've got at defensive tackle Ghost Panda and a literal brick wall. We've got Poliwag and Mikey Knuckles at defensive end. And on the edge, at outside linebacker, we've got Joe Blaze from the Ducks and Alexander Hodel Jr. from the Bird Dogs. At interior linebacker, middle linebacker, we've got J.C. Tomlinson At corner, we've got Meguru Bachira and Kai Ware. And at safety, we've got Gavin Gerard and Tawanga Kofi. Kofi? I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying my best here, guys. And wrapping out our S50 All-Pro team are our specialists. Specialists are important. We've got Jensen Wild at kicker. We've got Jack Wolf at punter. Very good boy. And we've got at returner Scott Wickard. So, congratulations to our S50 All-Pro DSFL team. All right, we've got a handful of rookies here. We've got a handful of names who have returned. I believe we've got representatives from every team. I wasn't really counting, but I'm going to assume we do because we almost always do. All right. I'm just realizing that I never introduced myself. Not that there's a lot of people here, but for those of you who don't know who I am Infinite MPG. I am the events head, off-season events. I do all of these things. I slam these things together. It makes me very rich in fake dollars. It also makes me hate myself sometimes, but you know what? It's fun. Alright, so there's our DSFL All-Pro team. Let's get looking at our awards. I need to switch to Keynote. Okay, offensive player... Oh, not offensive player of the year. Excuse me. Offensive performance of the year for our DSFL. Okay. We've got Zach Vega Jr. in Week 4 at quarterback with his wide receiver, Darius Fast Track. Both of them in Week 4 put up huge numbers. Vega with 476 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns. Fast Track with 6 receptions for 170 and 2 touchdowns. On the other side of the field, somewhat incredibly, is Dalinar Summers from the London Royals. 19 rushes, 165 on the ground, 1 touchdown. Week 7, Quincy Robinson for the Luchadors. 22 attempts, 172 on the ground, 4 touchdowns. It's an average of almost 8 yards a carry, my gosh. And then wrapping us out, Week 9, Confurious Death Wilson. I'm going to assume that's what it is. 408 through the air, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 144.9 rating. So, all 5 quite impressive performances. The DSFL, for those of you not in the know, not really a passing league. So very interesting to see 2 quarterbacks make an appearance here. And our winner for offensive performance of the year is going to Quincy Robinson in Week 7 from the Tijuana Luchadors. That 8 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns. Hard to pass up. Congratulations. Defensive performance of the year. We've got Kai Ware from Tijuana. He's got 12 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, as well as an interception. So he did both turnovers. Very delicious. We've got IQ Bowman, Week 8, 9 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 2 picks, and a pick 6. Pollywag in Week 8, he's got 1 tackle, 1 forced fumble, 1 scoop and score. All right, so he recovered the forced fumble and scored with it. Very cool. Sebastian Rosenthal for the Seawolves in Week 10. 13 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, a forced fumble and recovered the fumble, a interception as well, all over the field. And then finally, Alexander Hortle Jr. in Week 12 for the Bird Dogs. 6 tackles, 1 TFL, 2 sacks, forced a fumble and recovered it, and took that fumble to the house for a touchdown. So, if you have not realized, awards voters love their tutties. You will see this over and over tonight. They love tutties. And if we look at our winner, they're going to have a tutty. It's going to be IQ Bowman. 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble with a pick 6. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to me. So congratulations, IQ Bowman, on your defensive performance of the year. All right. Moving right along, we've got our offensive rookies of the year. These are first-year players, not necessarily first-year users, but first-year players in the DSFL. So these are your S51 creates. These guys have just been drafted in the S51 ISFL draft. So, for some of you, this will be your last hurrah under your DSFL teams. Isn't that great? So we got Ben Ye from Norfolk. 148 rushes for 755 on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, as well as a couple of receptions. Cyrus McDougal from Minnesota, quarterback, 4,165 passing yards. That's a lot of passing yards in the DSFL. 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Overall on the year, 96.3 rating. That's really impressive for the DSFL. Wow. Jeff Landshark from Kansas City, wide receiver, 85 receptions for over 1,000 receiving yards, 1,071, 6 receiving touchdowns. Matt Turk, also a wide receiver, fewer receptions, only 81, but more yards, averaging 17.2 per catch, 1,391 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns. Again, voters love their tutties. Quincy Robinson from the Luchadors, running back, 283 rushes for almost 1,200 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, as well as 2 receiving touchdowns. So, all-purpose back right there. And then finally, Rocket Toss from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, 46 receptions, 534 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. And our winner for Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Matt Turk from the Grey Ducks. Congratulations to Matt Turk. Congratulations to the Grey Ducks. All right. Moving right along to our Defensive Rookie of the Year in the DSFL. We've got Abstract Geometry, a class that I managed to avoid in college. 81 tackles, 10 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles and 1 recovery, 1 interception, and 13 sacks. Brick Wall from Kansas City, 42 tackles, 8 TFLs, 2 sacks. Ethan Shadow Jr. from the Royals, 87 tackles, 13 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 8 sacks. Kai Ware, who we've seen before in this presentation, and we will probably see again, 95 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries, 7 picks, and 30 passes defensed, with 1 defensive touchdown, which we saw, as well as, surprisingly, a blocked punt. That's interesting. Roy Rivers from Bondi Beach. Roy Rivers had 113 tackles. I believe the only one on here with that many tackles. 10 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 11 sacks, and a safety. And then finally, Xander LaRue, 102 tackles, 5 forced fumbles. That's the most on this list. 2 fumble recoveries, 4 picks, 33 passes defensed. So let's see who our winner for Defensive Rookie of the Year is, and it is Roy Rivers from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Congratulations to the Bucks. Congratulations to Roy Rivers. All right. Special Teams Player of the Year. This was an award that was accidentally made a couple years back, and we've just kind of kept it. Special teamers are important to the team. There are 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams, so we do value our special teamers. We've got kickers, punters, and returners on this list. America, South America from Tijuana is a kicker-punter. Perfect on the year from extra points. 16 for 22 on field goals, so that's 72.7%. Perfect within 30 yards, 4 out of 5 under 40, so between 30 and 39. And then 5 out of 9 from 40 plus. I think if I do my math right, that's 6 out of 11 from 40 plus. All right, low TPE, hard to kick far. From punting, a 43.6 average, 26 punts inside the 20 with a long of 67 yards. Jensen Wild, our other kicker-punter on this list from Norfolk, also perfect on extra points. 24 for 27, making an 89% field goal accuracy rating. Missed 2 within 20 to 29, missed 1 from 30 to 39, but perfect from 40 and plus. So that's really interesting. 10 out of 10 from 40 or further. And then 64 punts, averaged 46 yards per punt with only 21, still a lot, 21 inside the 20. Then we've got our 2 returners on the list. Scott Wickard for Portland, who I believe, if I remember correctly, was on that All-Pro list. All right? He got an average of 22.8 kick return yards per return, as well as a 96-yard kick return and 1 touchdown. And then T-Bone from Dallas, 30 kick returns for 684 yards. Also, interestingly, 22.8 per return. His long is a 35, so maybe a little bit more consistent, but no touchdowns. All right. And our winner for Special Teams Player of the Year goes to Jensen Wild. Really impressive to get 10 out of 10 from 40 plus. I think this is well deserved. Congratulations, Norfolk. Congratulations, Jensen Wild. Okay, Offensive Player of the Year for the DSFL. All right, we're going to have some familiar names here. I believe all of these names were on the All-Pro team. I believe I've gone through some of these. I don't quite remember, but we'll see. At quarterback from Bondi Beach, we've got Confurious Death Wilson. 4,400 passing yards, about 62.4%, with 34 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, totaling for a 102.7 pass rating. We got Dexter Morgan, a little bit less accurate, 59.5% in the air, but more yards, 4,900 yards, 38 passing touchdowns, and 9 interceptions for a 105.7 rating. These are very high passer ratings. Maybe I'm out of touch. No, it's just the kids. High passer ratings for the DSFL. I've never seen them this high before, but I certainly haven't been paying much attention in the last 20 seasons. James is running Wilder from Portland. 341 rushes for 1,458 rushing yards on the year, about 4.3 per rush. 15 rushing touchdowns, as well as 1 touchdown through the air. Joe Cool, the wide receiver from London, very cool. 75 catches for 1,524 yards, averaging about 20 per catch, with 13 touchdowns. And then Sweet Sweet Ganja Smoke from Norfolk, 97 receptions, 1,551 receiving yards, 16 yards per catch, as well as also 13 reception touchdowns. So, a lot of great offensive talent. A lot of these guys are send downs. Quarterbacks tend to be sent down for a while, and so they can start eating as they get up in those TPE numbers. I believe all of these guys are send downs. I don't remember. But our winner for Offensive Player of the Year is going to be James is running Wilder. Hard to beat all those rushing yards for Portland. So congratulations to Wilder. Defensive Player of the Year. We've got Alexander Hortle Jr. from Dallas, 92 tackles, 15 TFLs, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 13 sacks. Joe Blaze from Minnesota, 109 tackles, 10 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, and 1 interception, 15 sacks. Naguru Bachira from Portland, 95 tackles, 7 interceptions, 38 passes defensed, so a safety here. Roy Rivers from Bondi Beach, another linebacker here, 113 tackles, 10 TFLs, 11 sacks. And then Xander LaRue at cornerback, 102 tackles, 5 forced fumbles at corner, very interesting, 4 picks, 33 passes defensed. So, good mix here, linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks. Unfortunately, thank you, Siri. Unfortunately, no love for the defensive line here in the nomination process, but our winner is going to be Meguru Bachira at safety. Wow, safety winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's really impressive. You love to see it. All right, so congratulations to the Pythons. Congratulations to Bachira. All right, GMs of the Year. So this is an opinion that I hold very strongly here. Winning is not the only thing when it comes to the DSFL. Quite frankly, as a GM in the DSFL, your goal is not necessarily to win, but to develop the best players and best prepare users for going up to the ISFL. There's a very strong mentorship component to this. Obviously, winning is great. And the more active you keep your players, the more likely you are to win. But obviously, as a developmental league, the goal is to develop. That being said, the numbers I got here have to do with their records and their success in the year, which again does usually track pretty well with activity. So we've got, I'm pretty sure that these are up to date. I'm not 100% sure. But Servant and the Hoovian at Bondi Beach, they went 8-6 and are Ultimate champions. Dallas, Jay Reed 12 and Deadly Player, still GM, my goodness. 11-3 on the year. They did make the playoffs. For Kansas City, Dev 0 and Irish with many zeros behind. Irish, I believe, a brand new user. They went 5-9, but still, again, record. Not the only thing we are looking at here. Minnesota, J. Lyles and OK Nam. 10-4 for Minnesota. They made the playoffs. And then finally for Portland, we've got Jada123876 and 8-Bit Dick for Portland. Surprised that username got approved. Anyways, 10-4 conference champions. They fell short in the Ultimate to the Buccaneers. And our winners are our Ultimate champions, Servant and the Hoovian. Congratulations, Bondi Beach, another wonderful year down under. Alright, most dedicated member. This is an award that is awarded to the most dedicated new user to the league. Alright, so you don't have to be a member of the DSFL, you have to have this season be your first season as a member of the International Simulation Football League. We have Heffa, who has played an integral role in organizing the S51 Cabal mock draft. We've got Irish, who is the Kansas City GM in their very first season in the league. We've got Pelochita. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm assuming that's Polly. Did a bunch of media on defensive ratings. Very cool. And then finally, Roy Rivers, very active in game days and chat, and a huge hype man. Okay, so let's see who our DSFL most dedicated member is. And it is Polly. Congratulations to Polly on your MDM in the DSFL. Alright, our MVP tonight. Our nominees for MVP are just our Offensive Player and Defensive Player of the Year nominees. So you'll see all of those same names that we saw previously. So you got your Offensive Player of the Year nominees, your Defensive Player of the Year nominees. If you win Offensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Year, you cannot win MVP. And just looking at the results, our MVP this year was quite close. And you guys will get to see the public award ballots at the conclusion of tonight's stream. It was very close, but to remind ourselves, James is running Wilder, our Offensive Player of the Year, not eligible to win MVP. Our Defensive Player of the Year, Manguru Bachira, also not eligible to win. The way that it works is that when we count the MVP votes, the MVP is actually removed from the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year ballots, and the runoff runs from there on. So the MVP is decided first. It's just presented last because it's the most important. And our MVP this year is Dexter Morgan from the London Royals. That's that 105.7 passer rating, 38 pass TDs, 9 pass interceptions. That's a very high passer rating, especially in the DSFL. Very impressive. Congratulations to Dexter Morgan. Congratulations to London. Is that Good versus Evil? That's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Oh my goodness. Alright, so those are our DSFL awards for Season 50. Interestingly, not the 50th season of the DSFL. I believe this is the 46th season of the DSFL. But does go by the ISFL calendar. So this is S50 Awards. Let's move on to the ISFL Awards, shall we? We are going to start with our second team All-Pro. All right, so we're looking at the offense and the kickers. This year, the All-Pro team actually managed to pump out, missing a quarterback. The All-Pro team managed to pump out some extra winners this year. I gotta go pull this up now. Oh no. Our quarterback is not on this list for the second team All-Pro, but I have them right here. Give me just a second to pull up this data. This is what happens when things go not to plan. Our quarterback for the second team All-Pro, not on this slide, but our second team QB is Puddles O'Duck. We've got the reigning MVP, Anakin Skywalker, at running back with Kit Fisto. At fullback, Sean Aldrich. At tight end, Bob Kronkowski. At wide receiver, we've got Diego Lopez de Castilla and Maria Teresa de la Rosa. Whew, that's a lot of names. Also at wide receiver, we've got Sear Eal. I don't know. Trying my best here. At offensive tackle, we've got Gustav Farkas, Big Yoshi Jr., both tackles. And then at the interior, so guard and center, we've got McDropson, Klaus Reinhardt, and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift? Oh my goodness. My friends were just at your concert with Sabrina Carpenter. Very cool. At kicker and punter, wrapping out our second team All-Pro is Win Jenkins. Our defense and returner, we've got on the interior line Draven Chanos, and oops. Oh my god. Excuse me, I'm gonna die here. Oops, All-Pro on the interior of the line. We've got Dan Andrews and Gil Fisher on the edge of the line. At outside linebacker, Ali Starr and DJ McLean. And on the interior, Perry Passive Man. Out on the islands at corner are Roquefort Cotswold and Skibbity Gat Ohio Rizzler. As a high school teacher, you have no idea how many times I hear those goddamn brain rot words. Okay, at safety, Caleb the Geico Camel and Tony Scaletta. And then at flex, so that's usually going to be a DB, is Paul Edgecombe. And then our returner on the second team is Triceracop. Alright, why did I get pinged in Baltimore? Just give it to yourself. Yeah, I will. Wolfie McDummy Jr. is now a second team All-Pro. Now it's Puddles McDuck. Or Puddles O'Duck, excuse me. Alright. First team offense. In the backfield, we've got Leonard McRobinson as our first team QB, Purdy Mediocre, and Reginald Shrubbery, the other head of the double-headed Baltimore rushing attack at running back, with Billy Van Gogh clearing the way. Our receivers, tight end Tyler Higbee II, our wideouts Keanu Calhoun, Benji Aguilera, and Chopper Don Quixote. And on our offensive line, we have Swantavius Stack. We have Klaus von Reinhertz. Acutiramus Bohemius. On the inside with Finn Jeremy Harder. Okay. And, oh god. Somebody pronounced this last time. I don't remember how to pronounce it. Thathu whatever. The San Jose interior lineman. At defense, we've got Doctor Who and Carter Goad on the interior D-line, and on the edge, we've got Rex Havoc and Alex Armstrong. At outside linebacker, we've got Alistair Adabam and Crazy Tomato. On the interior of our linebacking core is Federico Americano. At corner, we've got Blacksmith Andre and Luigi #1. At safety, we've got Dewey Greenbeans and Lyle Taylor, baby. And at flex, we've got Devin Jones. Lyle Taylor come home to Wimbledon. Our specialist for the All-Pro team, our first team specialist, Ray Baker at kicker, Master Chief at punter, and Keanu Calhoun at returner. Congratulations to all of our first and second team All-Pro members for the ISFL. Performance of the year for the ISFL. Let me scroll down on my list here. We got from Colorado in their big win week 1, Skibbity Giat Ohio Rizzler. 10 tackles, 6 PDs, 2 picks, and a pick 6. JJ Watt, from Honolulu's week 2 performance was 8 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, a pick, which was returned for a TD. Roquefort Cotswold, I'm going to assume I'm pronouncing that. Roque, please correct me. I know you're in chat. Week 4, 8 tackles, 7 PDs, 4 picks. Oh my god, 4 picks and a pick 6. Jesus Christ, 4 picks. Who did they play? Puddles O'Duck, week 6. At quarterback, 24 for 34 for 70.6% accuracy, 320 through the air, 5 touchdowns for a 139.7 rating. Week 12, Bugs at QB, 28 for 41 for 381 through the air, 5 touchdowns for a 137.3 rating. And then finally, week 13, Arizona's Purdue Mediocre, 8 rushes for 141, 17.6 average, and 2 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. 17.6 yards per carry. So our performance of the year, these are all outstanding performances, but our performance of the year goes to Roquefort Cotswold, week 4, with those 4 interceptions and a pick 6. That's insane. 4 picks. A truly insane list of performances, but this might be the most insane. That might be the most. I'm going to have to look on the dashboard to see if that's the most ever in one game. Somebody do that for me. All right. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who pinged me? Oh, Roque. Thank you, Roque. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we got Cedric Therault from Cape Town. 74 receptions for 677. 4 reception touchdowns. Chala Famer from Sarasota, 74 catches, 844 yards for 6 touchdowns. Harvin Marison from Arizona, 90 catches for 871, 4 touchdowns. Klaus Reinhardt from Sarasota, 78 pancakes, only 3 sacks allowed. Supersonic from Berlin, 69 catches, 807 through the air, 5 touchdowns. And then finally, William Strong from my nemesis Big Red 1580, 260 rushes for 1,006 rushing yards, 9 rush touchdowns, as well as 561 through the air from 61 catches and 6 receiving touchdowns. So an all-around back there from William Strong. So our offensive Rookie of the Year is going to be, William Strong from Orange County. Have fun with that one, Big Red. I'm pretty sure that's Big Red, right? I don't know. I'll find out eventually when he messages me. Congratulations, William Strong. Congratulations to the Otters. I know there's a big rebuild going on, but having an offensive Rookie of the Year, you've got talent that you can build upon. It is Big Red. I can't believe this. All right. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We got Frosty Steele from New Orleans. We've got Football Commander Russ Kicker 01 from Berlin. We got Lawrence Crawford, Baltimore. Martavius Spencer from Cape Town. Nathan Claflin Jr. from Yellowknife. And Slam Duncanson from Sarasota. And realizing now, I forgot to read off their stats. Frosty Steele with 62 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 picks, 7 sacks. Football Commander, 117 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 picks. Lawrence Crawford, 56 tackles, 6 sacks. Martavius Spencer, 55 tackles, a forced fumble, 3 picks, and 4 sacks. Nathan Claflin Jr., 96 tackles, and 11 passes defensed. And Slam Duncanson, 70 tackles, 1 pick, and 1 tackle for loss. So our defensive rookie of the year is going to be football. I'm thinking it's Football Commander. I'm not 100% sure. I think. Russ Kicker 001. Congratulations to the Fire Salamanders. Okay, returner of the year. We've got a handful of folks here. We got Birdie Mattering Phipps from Arizona. I got here 402 kick return yards for an average of 25.1 yards per return, as well as 308 punt return yards. So that's number 3 in the league at 12.8 yards per return and a punt return touchdown. We've got Emil Charles from Baltimore. Highest kick return average in the league at 32.4 yards per return, 583 kick return yards, 210 punt return yards, averaging 7.8 there. Got Julian McMorris II. Highest punt returns in the league, punt return yardage at 393, averaging 14 per return, with 1 touchdown there, as well as 476 on the kick returns, with an average of 22.7, which is also number 1 on kick return average. Keanu Calhoun out of Cape Town. 28 returns from kicks for 838 yards, averaging 29.9 yards per return, as well as 273 on punt returns, averaging 9.4. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh my god. Thomas Passarelli from NOLA. 481 kick return yards, averaging 28.3. 28.3. Kick return yards per return, as well as 275 punt return yards, going for 8.9 yards per return. And then finally, Triceracop out of Osaka. 2nd in punt return average at 12.8 yards per return, 308 punt return yards, 1 punt return touchdown, as well as a 25.1 kick return average. So our returner of the year is going to be Keanu Calhoun. High kick return average, high punt return average, that's what everyone's looking for. Got a kick return touchdown. Very well done, Keanu Calhoun. All right, kicker punter of the year. So in the ISFL, those are split. They are not like they are in the DSFL. I believe there's a rule proposal possibly to change that, but for now, kicker punter of the year. We got Cameron Oswald Newton from Colorado. Perfect on extra points, 81.2% accuracy on field goals, as well as a 46 yards per punt average and 43 punts inside the 20. We got Master Chief from Baltimore. Not perfect on extra points, but 32 for 36 on field goal percentage, or field goals, as well as a 48 yards per punt average and 44 punts inside the 20. We got Ray Baker from Honolulu, perfect on extra points, 37 for 41 field goals for a 90.2% accuracy, as well as 87 yards on punts for a 49.9 average, 33 punts inside the 20. Space Dino from Yellowknife, 29 for 34 on field goals, 85.3%, 31.97 punt yards for an average of 50 yards per punt, 30 punts inside the 20, and then finally, Wynn Jenkins, 36 for 40 on field goals, so that's a 90% accuracy rate, 29.72 yards total punting for a 51.2 average, 51.2, very high there, and 30 punts inside the 20. Our kicker punter of the year is going to go to Ray Baker, who I believe's got a handful of these now. Good field goal percentage, good punt average, good amount of punts inside the 20. Well done, Ray Baker. All right, offensive player of the year. Got some familiar names here, some unfamiliar names here. We got Keanu Calhoun, 98 catches for 1495, 13 touchdowns. We got Kit Fisto, 230 rushes for almost 1,100 yards. 12 rushing touchdowns, another 640 yards through the air for another 3 touchdowns through the air. Got Leonard McRobinson, the quarterback from Honolulu, 59.9% accuracy through the air for 3,900 passing yards. Reading is hard. 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions for an 88.6 overall passer rating. But on top of that, rushing QB, haven't seen one of those in a while. 119 rushes for 616 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground. So that's what, 38 total touchdowns there. Pitter Patter from Berlin, our reception fiend, 103 catches, not 130 catches, 103 catches for 1,267 receiving yards, averaging 12.3 per catch, and 17 touchdowns. That's the third most in a season in ISFL history, 17 receiving touchdowns. Pretty mediocre at running back for Arizona, 270 rushes for 1,373, 11 touchdowns there, and then another 2 touchdowns through the air, 425 receiving yards there. And then finally, Reginald Shrubbery from Baltimore, your Ultimus champions, 202 rushes for 1,014 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns. Top that off with another 888 receiving yards with 5 receiving touchdowns. So that's almost 2,000 all-purpose yards for Shrubbery. And I will remind you, the winner of this did not win the MVP. Okay, so MVP voting goes first, and then Player of the Year voting goes after. So our Offensive Player of the Year is Reginald Shrubbery from the Baltimore Hawks. So last year it was Anakin Skywalker. This year the other head of the two-headed monster gets their big boy trophy here. Congratulations to Shrubbery. Congratulations to the Hawks. Our Defensive Player of the Year, we've got Alistair Adabam from NOLA, 100 tackles on the year, 13 TFLs, 18 sacks, and 2 picks. Devin Jones from Berlin, 97 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, 2 picks, 52 passes defensed. Number 1 all-time passes defensed in a season. Holy crap. That is a record that hasn't fallen in a long time from what I remember. And I believe he beat it by a lot? I'll have to double check. But I believe he beat it by a lot. Doctor Who from New Orleans. 72 tackles, 13 TFLs, 15 sacks. Has a defensive tackle. Lyle Taylor Baby from New York. 61 tackles as a safety, 1 forced fumble, 4 sacks, 4 picks, 19 passes defensed, and a touchdown. Rex Havoc at defensive end for Honolulu. 40 tackles, 9 TFLs, 4 forced fumbles, and 11 sacks. And then, finally, Roquefort Cotswold at cornerback for Honolulu, 93 tackles, 7 picks, 42 passes defensed, 2 defensive touchdowns, number 4 all-time in defensive passes defensed. So 52 and 42, number 1 and number 4 all-time. Those are pretty crazy cornerback seasons. Our winner this year for Defensive Player of the Year is going to be Roquefort Cotswold from Honolulu. So a lot of voters, I guess, liked those tutties. Told you guys before, tutties are important. Also, 7 picks to 2 picks. That's pretty significant, even though Devin Jones had more defenses or passes defensed. Not as many picks. Picks are game changers. So congratulations, Roque, on your DP of the year. All right, we're going to jump to GM of the Year. We've got 4 nominees here. We've got Baltimore, our Ultimus champions, number 1 seed in the NSFC, or at least what was formerly known as the NSFC. Now the pineapple haters and ketchup enthusiasts. Glad to be in that division. I hate pineapples. They physically hurt me, and I love ketchup. They finished the year 12-4, number 1 in their conference, number 1 in the league. We got from Honolulu, Lieutenant Huds and Ice Bear, number 1 seed in the ASFC, which is now the Pineapple and Ranch Pizza Enjoyers, which is objectively incorrect. 12-4 record. Unfortunately did not make it to the championship game, but they still had the highest record in the league. From New York, we got Wiz and Repnar. Number 3 seed in their conference, the former ASFC, but they did win the conference. They did win the conference and went to the Ultimus with a 9-6-1 record. And then finally, from Sarasota, we got Franck and ABH 89. Number 2 in the conference, the former NSFC, 10-6 record. I don't remember if they made it to the championship game. Shows you how much I pay attention. But certainly 4 well-deserving teams here for the GMs. And our GM of the year is the New York Silverbacks, Wizard Literal and Repnar. Congratulations to you guys. A wonderful season, a great playoff run. Congratulations. All right, most dedicated member. So, as a reminder, the MDM cannot be someone who has recently won it. Somebody keeps nominating Baz, who has won it quite recently. So we only have 3 nominees for MDM in the ISFL this year. We've got ABH89, who is the Sarasota GM, as we mentioned previously, as well as the update head. We've got Lieutenant Huds, who is the Honolulu GM, as well as a key member of the recruiting team. And I feel like I'm missing something there, but I just pulled that together real quick. And then, of course, we got Wiz, who just won GM of the Year for New York. Wizard is also the player progression team head, so in charge of all the PTs. He's a member of the Sim Balance team, and he saved my ass because I forgot to publish the PT claim for the community ballot. And he'll probably do the community ballot this time around because I'm hella busy. But our MDM is Lieutenant Huds. I'm assuming that's Lieutenant. Congratulations, Lieutenant Huds, on your MDM. It is well-deserved. Our recruiting is going well. I just checked in on the DSFL recruiting for the upcoming draft, which is Thursday or maybe Friday. Because Thursday's Halloween. I know I won't be there for that. So that might get delayed. But that class is looking good. 51 draftees so far. So that's not a leak. I'm in charge of those leaks. Punish me. Do it, head office. Do it. So congratulations to Huds on your MDM win. Alright. MVP. Again, we know that Reginald Shrubbery, our Offensive Player of the Year, did not win MVP. We also know that Roquefort Cotswold did not win MVP. And again, that vote is processed after the MVP vote is processed. Okay, so our MVP was known before they were removed from those other ballots. Okay, I will tell you this one was also very close. Our MVP awards were both extremely close this year. Both with non-majority winners. So, not a huge consensus on who our MVP is. Well, let's find out. Our winner for S50's most valuable player is Leonard McRobinson, the quarterback from Honolulu. Congratulations to the Hahalua. Congratulations, Leonard McRobinson. Dual threat quarterbacks. Are they back? Maybe. 12-4 record speaks for itself. MVP speaks for itself. Congratulations to the Hahalua. Congratulations to McRobinson. Alright, that wraps up the awards portion of the night. We do still have the Hall of Fame inductions. And this year, we only got the one. So, a bit of a smaller class, if I remember correctly. We only got the one nominee, the one inductee. They received 8 out of 9 votes to get into the Hall of Fame. And the S50 class member for the ISFL Hall of Fame is Austin Morley. And I have a write-up here from Let's Play, also known as Star Wars, our new Hall of Fame commissioner. Austin Morley was a good, consistent wide receiver over the entirety of his career. He was only under 1,000 yards once and managed at least 8 touchdowns for 6 of his 10 seasons. He really came into his own as a returner, getting first-team All-Pro twice, including arguably the greatest single season as a kick returner in league history in S50. Despite tying himself to an archetype that is often overlooked, Morley was able to consistently make splash plays and near unanimously made the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. As you can see there, that S40 special teams player of the year. Number 8 all-time in punt return yards, number 15 all-time in receptions, a 2-time first team All-Pro, a 2-time second team All-Pro, and a 6-time Pro Bowler. Congratulations to Austin Morley and the Chicago Butchers, who are now the Osaka Kaiju, getting a Hall of Famer. All right, and I believe that wraps us up. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Certainly was a share slideshow, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Certainly was a fun time for me. We finished within the hour, which I always like. Congratulations to all of our award winners, to all of our All-Pro team members. Congratulations to our Hall of Famer, Austin Morley. I will be posting the awards SIGs shortly onto the forum. I will also be posting the public awards ballots. Okay? Seems like this year is going to be a bit of a chippy year. When you look at those, when you comment, don't forget, keep it civil. Don't forget the other person on the other side of the screen. It's a fun league. We're a great community. Don't be dumb. Don't be mad. All right? We're celebrating the best performances of the year. We're not putting folks down. All right. I hope you had a wonderful stream. I certainly did. I have some dinner that I'd really like to finish. So